everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jerso and today I am here with my 21 books that I really need to read in 2021. So most of these books are books that I own on my shelves. One of my goals for this year is to really bring down the number of books that I own that I have yet to read. So most of these books are from that, but then I also included some very anticipated releases that I know once they come out I'm just automatically gonna read them. So there was no point in making like an anticipated release video because I need to focus on my physical TBR. If you have yet to watch my best / most surprising books of 2020, I will link that up here and also down in the description box below. So please don't forget to go and check that out. And also don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Goodreads. I'm always updating my reading on Goodreads, and I'm trying to be more active on Instagram, so please go ahead and give me a follow. Without further ado, let's get into the video. Okay, so I really like going into my books not knowing a lot about them. I don't remember what some of these books are about, but I'm going to try my best and give you guys like a quick little synopsis. And then for the books that aren't released yet, I will be telling you the release date and putting it on the screen just in case they sound interesting to you too and you want to keep it on your watch. For the first book that I have, it's coming off of my physical TBR, and it is Black Sun by Rebecca Roanhorse. This is I want to say an adult sci-fi, and this is one of the ones that I always forget how it's described. And I think we follow our main character, and she is tasked with bringing a passenger on her ship, and this passenger is supposed to be like a dangerous villain, I think, and she's supposed to deliver him to somewhere like another planet or something. And it's basically their journey. I don't know, I've heard so many good things about this though, and one of my goals this year is to read more outside of my comfort zone, and I figured sci-fi would be a great, like, I'm not really a sci-fi reader, I'm more like fantasy, romance, contemporary, so I figured I would add this onto the list. And the cover is so pretty. The cover is so pretty, and I'm so excited to get to this one. The next book that I have that I want to read this year is The Fifth Season by N.K. Jemisin. This has been my goal to read since like September. I've had this on my radar every single month since September, and I really want to read an N.K. Jemisin book. I've heard so many good things about her writing and just how she builds these intricate worlds that I'm intrigued. I need to read it. This is another one of those books where people really don't know how to describe it. So in this book, I think apparently in this world we deal with the world ending every so often due to natural disasters, and I'm not sure really how we got there, but we're here. Okay, I think like the main character is trying to do something before the next catastrophic world end, or trying to survive during that time, I guess. I don't know, but I'm really intrigued. I am putting this on this list to hold me accountable to read this book sometime this year. The next book I have is one that I'm really excited about. I mean, all these books I'm actually really excited about, but this one I started back in, I think, October, and I was kind of in like a little bit of a slump, so I didn't want to not enjoy my experience of this book, so I put it down, and I have yet to pick it back up again, and I really want to pick it back up in the year of 2021. This has been on so many people's favorites books of 2020 list, and I need to get back into it, and it's no other than Jade City by Fonda Lee. I was really enjoying this book when I was reading it. As you can see, I was tabbing this book up. I was eating it up. The characters were amazing. The plot was great, and I just don't know why I put this book down. But in this book we follow this world where jade is used as a magical enhancer. So certain people in this world, their body is adapt to handling jade, and once they have this jade on them, this jade enhances their abilities, so they're able to like run super fast or like be super strong or something like that. But only certain people in this world, their bodies are able to handle jade. But then there is a new drug that's coming out on the market that is able to allow people who normally can't handle jade to be able to have access to this superpower. And we have two rival gangs who kind of control the entire jade trade, and one of the gangs wants to make this drug readily accessible, and the other one is a little more hesitant. So we have political intrigue, there is some romance in here, and rival gangs. I'm all for it. This seems like so much fun, and I've heard so many good things, and I'm so excited to finally get to read this. The next book is another one that was raved about at the end or throughout 2020, really. That is The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. This is described as a grim, dark fantasy that really speaks to the ins and outs of war. And I heard that this story is really dark. I heard it's brutal. I heard the characters are just amazing because they are morally gray. They don't necessarily make the best decisions. So we follow our main character, Rin, and in the first book she enrolls into this military school, and nobody expects her to really pass the entrance exam to the school, so they're really surprised when she does. And from what I understand, we just follow her story through the academy, through this war. Like, I'm really excited to read this series, but I need to read the first book first before I can read the rest of the series. So I'm really looking forward to reading this in 2021. The next book that I'm going to be talking about is another one of those books that came out towards the end of last year. Everybody has been raving about it. It's been on several favorite books list, and I didn't get a chance to read it last year, and I'm so sad because I was so excited for it. But I am talking about Legendborn by Tracy Deonn. This is a young adult fantasy, and first of all, get into this cover. It's giving me black girl magic. Okay, I absolutely love this cover. So in this book we follow our main character, Bree Matthews, and Bree is kind of dealing with the traumatic consequences of her mother's mysterious death. And Bree is also extremely smart. She's only 16, but she is able to enroll in this very special extended college program at NC Chapel Hill. So one day she's on campus and she witnesses this strange monster creature thing doing something, and she's really not supposed to know about these things. So there's this secret society at Chapel Hill called the Legendborn, who are responsible for keeping track of these creatures and kind of wiping the memory of those who kind of see the creatures. So someone tries to wipe her memories and it doesn't work. She still remembers it, and so she's kind of thrown into this secret society trying to figure out what this creature is and how it could somehow be connected to her mother's mysterious death. And I've heard so many good things about this book, and I'm just really excited to finally read it once again in 2021. This video will hold me accountable. Next, we have another very popular book. Really want to read this book before I watch the show whenever it does come out, and that is Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi. This is the first book in a series. I'm not sure what the series is called, but I've heard great things about the first book, not so many great things about the second book, but I'm still willing to give it a try. This is a young adult fantasy, and we follow our main character, Zelly, and in this world magic has been banned, like it's completely disappeared, and from what I understand, Zelly has the chance to bring magic back, so she goes on a journey to do that. So she has a chance to bring back magic and strike against the monarchy. With the help of a rogue princess, Zelly must outwit and outrun the crown prince, who was hell-bent on eradicating magic for good. And I can't wait to read it. The next book that I really need to read in 2021 is another fantasy that I've talked about a lot on my channel. I feel like I've mentioned it several times, but it's Graceling by Kristen Cashore. So we follow our main character Casta, and in this world people have different magical abilities called their grace that they're really born with, and Casta's grace is killing, so she's really good at killing. Okay, she is the niece of the king, and she's kind of forced to work as the king's thug because of her grace. She kind of learns some hidden things about her grace after meeting this prince that she forms a friendship with, and I feel like this is another overthrowing the kingdom type of book, which I always love, so I'm really excited to read this one. The next book that we have is a nonfiction, which who am I? I really want to start reading more nonfiction and memoirs this year, and just I love learning about people's lives and things like that. And one of the books that I'm really hoping to read is We're Going to Need More Wine by Gabrielle Union. This is her memoir where she tells stories about her childhood. I know that there are a lot of hard-hitting topics in here, such as sexual assault, gang violence, and things like that, but I love Gabrielle Union, and her book has been one that has been on my radar for such a long time, and it's just, I'm super excited to hear her story. The next book I'm going to be talking about is one that should have been read by now. There's no excuse why I haven't read this book. And it is The Vanishing Half by Britt Bennett. In this book we follow two twin sisters, both black but white passing, and we kind of see how both of them kind of take different paths in life. One of them runs both of them I think run away from their predominantly black neighborhood, but one ends up coming back and fully embracing her blackness, while the other one stays away, and she kind of gets married, starts her family, but doesn't really tell her husband that she's black. She raises her kids but doesn't let them know of the black part of her, and then I think they come back together at some point in this book, and we just kind of see how these decisions and choices kind of impacted their life, and it brings up so many topics of conversation, especially looking at colorism in the black community, and I'm really excited to read this one. Okay, so the last two books that I want to talk about are not the last two, but the last two on my physical TBR that I really want to read this year, and one of them is He Started It by Samantha Downing. If you had been on my channel for any amount of time, honestly, you know that Samantha Downing wrote My Lovely Wife, which I absolutely loved last year, and I picked this up because I wanted to read it right away. This is another thriller by her, and I know that we follow a group of siblings, and their grandpa kind of, as his dying wish, tells them to go on this road trip, and I'm not really sure why or what they're going on this road trip for, and I've really been avoiding reading the synopsis of this book once again, because it just really intrigued me the first time, and I'm just so excited to see what else this author has for me. The last book on my physical TBR for this year is the Henna Artist by Alka Joshi. This one is another one that I remember vaguely what the synopsis is about, but this is a Reese Book Club pick, and Reese Witherspoon never steers me wrong. In this book, I think we follow our main character, Lakshmi, and she runs away from an arranged and abusive marriage at the age of 17, and she kind of starts working at this palace as a henna artist, and rich people come to her all the time and they kind of just spill all their stories. They trust her. She knows basically everything that's going on in their lives. And then one day a girl comes to the palace and tells her that she's her sister. So Lakshmi is kind of dealing with that, and then I think one of the secrets that she knows could be harmful if it comes out, so somebody's after her or something. I don't know, but just hearing so many people rave about this being a Reese Book Club pick, I have to read it, and I think, you know, I feel it that 2021 is the year that I'll pick this book up. Okay, so now we're gonna move into the books that I don't own yet, but most of these are pre-ordered. I think I only have about 3 or 4. So the first one, we're just gonna get it out of the way, of course, is A Court of Silver Flames by Sarah J. Maas. We know Sarah J. Maas is one of my favorite authors. This is the first book in, I want to say, a companion series. So this follows one of the main characters from the Court of Thorns and Roses series, and we kind of get her story basically, and I'm not sure where this book is going to go. I'm not sure how the character development is going to happen, but I am just so excited for this book. Sarah J. Maas knows how to write characters and plots that just tug at my heartstrings, that just, I fall in love with these characters so hard every single time, like without fail. In every single book I've read, I've just fallen more in love with how she writes characters. This book comes out February 16th, and I'm so excited. I will literally drop whatever book I'm reading once this comes in the mail. The next book is one that I'm literally will not stop promoting on this channel because I feel like everyone needs to read these books. Everyone needs to read these books. So it is Act Your Age, Eve Brown by Talia Hibbert. This is the 3rd book in the Brown Sisters series, and seriously, if you haven't read Get a Life Chloe Brown or Take a Hint Danny Brown yet, just pause this video and just add it to whatever list or purchase it. Just get this book in your hands right now. These are adult romances with great characters, great plots, great lessons. Talia Hibbert writes the best steamy scenes, but she also writes characters who are flawed but who also learn lessons from their flaws. So I'm just really excited to see what Talia Hibbert brings to the table this time. I'm so excited for this book, so excited, and this comes out March 9th. The next anticipated release for me in 2021 that I will literally drop anything for and pick up and read is the Gilded Ones by Namina Forna. This one comes out February 9th, and this is one that has been on my radar since it was like announced at the beginning of last year, I think, and I do not know anything about this book, I will be completely honest, but the cover spoke to me. I'm so excited to have this in my hands, and I think it's going to be a great fantasy read. The next book that I'm going to be talking about is a debut novel by Ryan Douglas, and it is The Taking of Jake Livingston, and this comes out July 13th. very excited about this one. It is a YA thriller where we follow our main character, Jake Livingston, and he has the ability to see the dead. And one day he meets this guy named Sawyer, who was a troubled teen who shot and killed 16 kids at a local high school before taking his own life. So now he is a vengeful ghost and he has plans for his afterlife, and Jake is included in those plans somehow. Seems more like a fantasy, but it's labeled as a thriller. And once again, this cover just instantly caught my attention, and I'm just really excited. Next we have Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I saw that Taylor Jenkins Reid was coming out with a new book this year, and I added it. That was all there was to it, because Taylor Jenkins Reid became an auto-buy author for me after reading The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo and Daisy Jones and the Six. And both books, the way Taylor Jenkins Reid writes characters is just so amazing to me. It immerses you into the book, like you feel like you really know these characters, and I'm so excited to read one of her new books that are coming out this year, and so I had to add it to the list. The last book that I'm going to be talking about is Grown by Tiffany D. Jackson. This has been out for a while. It's not one of the ones that are releasing this year, but I don't own it yet, but the cover is just beautiful. This one, I don't know if it's like a thriller or what. I hear that there's like some thriller elements to it, but then like I don't know. So in this book we follow our main character, and she is in the music industry, and I think it is a book that talks about how young women are kind of taken advantage of, especially young Black women are taken advantage of in this industry. And I think this book kind of vaguely follows the R. Kelly, what happened with R. Kelly, with Tiffany D. Jackson's writing, how she's able to convey those emotions and how she writes these characters, and I'm just really excited about it. So that is it for today's video. These are the 21 books that I am going to read in 2021. This video will hold me accountable, and I think there are 21. I'm not sure. I might have gone over, I might have gone under, I might have missed one, who knows. But I'm just so excited to read these books this year. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe if you did, and I will see you guys soon with another video. Bye!